Hey everybody, and welcome to another Binary Ninja live stream. I'm your host, and I can hear myself, so I can put this off now. I'm your host, Jordan Wines. I'm not really a host, I'm just the streamer. Habit. So welcome back. We've got a pretty good agenda this week. I'm excited. Let's actually just dig over into our to-do list here. We've got a couple of things. I had a poll that I put out for everybody on Twitter, and thank you for anybody that voted. This browser isn't logged in, so we can't see the results, but I looked at them on another machine, and the short summary is it looks like there's a split between do a simple challenge, do some live code refactor of Binary Ninja for the right-click menu, and just talk about the latest features and fixes. I think it went right-click, RE, and features and fixes. So I'm gonna do it backwards. I'm gonna do that exact opposite order, but we'll see if we can get through all three of those now. Excuse me, I have a hot beverage coming. Thank you. This is great. This is live service here. So, let's see. So we're gonna just do some kind of updates because it'll be really fast. Then we'll do a simple RE challenge. I'll pick something. If you have suggestions, drop them in the chat. Thanks, Secure Return, for mentioning that. I'll check out the aliasing. Was it the entire screen, or was it just the like the little text that popped up that was off? Just to schedule fun. Okay, I just updated that like right before we went live to that. So I didn't look closely at that screen. I'll make a note of that. Thank you. And on that note too, the audio, I noticed I think last week I was clipping a little bit, so I brought my audio down just a little bit. Let me know if you hear any problems with that too. On schedule. All right, cool. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate the feedback and stuff like that. Want to make it as good quality as possible. So yeah, we're gonna, like I said, do this kind of reverse order. We'll talk about some updates, then we'll do an RE challenge. If you have a suggestion for an RE challenge, put it in the comments. I'd love to pick something you've got. Otherwise, I'll just go grab something. Several people wanted me to really do something I've not like pre-gamed, which will be fine. Like I'll screw up a lot. That's okay. That's the point I think, and what makes it valuable is because you can see the ways that I mix up. Yeah. The joke is that the refactor is going to take the full two hours. Well, that's why I'm doing it the other way around. That's why I'm going to we're going to start with the feature review, then I'll do a simple RE challenge, and then we'll do the right-click refactor. And either I'll go longer, or I probably won't get it done. Maybe I'll get something that's usable enough to land on dev and ship, and we can do it. I barely got the build environment on this machine set up in time. So I'm like doing everything with like no permissions in this VM because I want it to be like just the streaming VM. So pro tip, do not try to compile through VMware Fuse mount in Ubuntu. It will, something it looked like the killer was going, which I don't know why it was, but I think it was related to the VMware mount. Yeah, don't do that. That's not a good idea. It's too much IO. So with that said, let's look at the sort of like the updates that we got going on. We'll cover these relatively quickly. First, the latest Binja test build, which I think is this one. Is this the test build? Wait, here, let's look here. Which one is this? This is my dev build that I did. And there's me making sure that I don't oom my box. I kicked up my memory on this machine. All right, there's that one. Let's do... So the test build, and this one again is on a Binary Ninja test branch, but it's not. So it's not yet on dev. But this is what I showed off a little bit last week, where you could get the. Actually, no. Let's go to the other one that we were using last week. That the virtual, the Josh's sample binary that has the C++. Where is now something that I didn't realize you could even do before is you can actually select a range of addresses. And if we look over here, like on our references, we've got all the variable references for all the variables in that range, which is kind of neat. I actually really like that. And so I go back, I have to double check Shusheng's notes. Yeah, so it's per variable, right? So you'll notice like each variable gets its own section here. It's not just like a massive list of variable references, so it's cleaner, and it works better again when we do a range selection. So that's pretty nice. I like that. I like that change as well. And oh yeah, so it's both medium level IL and high level IL variables. And so you can get both of those. I think he's working on one of the reasons this hasn't landed on dev yet is that these, when it's a medium level IL variable, it's going to show you the medium level IL line that goes along with the reference, the use of that variable. So that's just something that hasn't hit yet, but when he does, that's probably when it will land on dev. So that's pretty nice. That feature continues to be improved and is looking pretty good. I don't think there's a. Oh, I hate it when I do that accidentally. I I did it again. I don't think there is a bug tracking some of these enhancements, but there is a general one for variable improvements. Next up, we've got, oh, I guess I'm going to mention, that's right, my little fix too. So if you're on a recent dev build, there was a couple of bugs that were funny where if you had a, like, let's do name f.name at hex f.start. So like if you have a list of functions or whatever, if anything that is a symbol or an address that you could click on in the Python log, and you selected it, when you would like select it, it would potentially navigate, and then you'd lose focus, and so your selection, like you'd copy the wrong thing. So it was a little weird. And so now it actually waits for you to. Yeah, that's the other one I noticed actually is if something has a real symbol like init or finia it works, but if it's got a sub, it doesn't. So I need to, I think since I was digging that code, I might go look at that as well. But you can click addresses, right? So if you've got any addresses that are code, and this just is a little bit better behaved. Oh, there was one fun bug too. If you clicked anywhere at the end of the line and the last token happened to be an address, it would navigate to it, which is a little weird because like if I had something selected, I'll just kind of click out here to deselect a lot, and it was like navigating to that line. So that also got changed at dev. So just a small little thing, but I landed that fix, so I figured I'd mention it. Much more interesting, however, is what Rusty was working on, which just landed, if I can find the right window. Our URL. And we can see this as one of the closed issues, I believe. Where did it go? Didn't it get closed? I thought it did. Actually, what if we assign it to where's Rusty's bugs, and we check for ones that are either open or closed. Could have sworn there was a bug for this. I don't see it. If anybody in chat knows it, feel free to link to it, but I don't see where it is. But the idea was that fix was when you have references to an offset within a structure, you were getting, I forget what the behavior before was, but it essentially just wasn't working. You weren't actually getting those cross references shown the way you'd want to like the member of the structure, and so that's not fixed. That was one of the big. Actually, I know I should be able to find that with it may just not have been assigned. I think that was a 2.3 tag bug that's closed. There it is. Aha, see, I got it. So this was the bug. We can see a little bit more. I think this was Europe they posted this one, where there is a structure that exists, but then when you actually link to it, it just did like this bare reference, and it really should have been an offset into the structure, right? Right. So it should have been buff1 and whatever member it was. Let's see, do we have any other examples down here? Yeah, here's some other ones. So those should all be fixed. That one got done. It's another nice one to check out. And I think, let's go back to my list. Was that all the ones I wanted to hit? We've got variable cross references. Oh, so yeah, structure references, and the one that I had, the alpha collaboration. So I don't have a demo ready of it today, and we'll probably actually bring on Josh and or Glenn to talk about that whenever we want to demo that on stream. But the collaboration feature that is been one of our like biggest long-running goals is nearing public testing. It's not, I won't say it's done or totally ready yet, but We've definitely got some bug fixes and some enhancements and UI streamlining and work needs to be done, but it's pretty feature complete. We've actually got a collaboration server that you can work collaboratively with multiple users on. That will be a part of our like enterprise Binary Ninja offering, but we're also thinking about building that into like a public server. So right, if you've got a binary that you don't mind sharing or a CTF binary and you want to collaborate with people, you could use like a public server. We still don't know the exact exact timeline. Yeah, so we don't really know when the public beta is going to make it. Maybe I oversold the status of it. There's still some permissions in UI work. But like I think Glenn, is it fair to say that like the majority of the functionality is there? It's really just we're looking for yeah, did I overpromise? I mean, I think it's I've seen demos of it and I've used it, and so it's like it's a thing, and it does what it says on the tin, but there may be some edges that need polishing. So we're internally using it now, and it's like our internal alpha, and then we'll get a public beta on the scale of weeks. We don't really know how many, and then once we've got the public beta, depending on the progress there, it'll be some time, a couple months before we kind of really feel like it's polished and ready to launch in the enterprise. But okay, yeah, the majority of the functionality is there. There's still some bugs. I think that was reasonably fair about that. So yeah, so that's the state of collaboration. Just if you're interested in that, we've already got a list of beta customers, but if you've got like, especially the large organizations that are interested in getting the enterprise server, we want to have them early on involved in the beta, because the things they care about, the use cases they want, are the ones that we want to test, because this will be like our newest, like highest tier flagship kind of version of Binary Ninja, and so we really want it to be something that meets those folks' needs. And then, as our sort of usual way, it's because money, like, not gonna lie, absolutely, it will be the most expensive version of Binary Ninja too. Although I still expect it will be less than a single IDO with a single hex arrays architecture, is my guess, in terms of cost. So I think we're still fairly competitively priced, because it will be the collaboration server, clients, it'll be floating licenses as well. I mean, so I think it's still a very attractive deal, but time will tell. And then again, oh yeah, so as was also our tendency, right? Like we want to have like a really good high end product for companies and commercial, but we don't really want to like completely leave hobbyists and students out in the cold. And so the way that we're doing that is as I said, we're brainstorming what it would look like to have a public collaboration server. We don't have a timeline, specifics, and there may be implementation things we got to figure out, but there's no reason we couldn't have like collaboration in the regular clients that only work with like this one kind of public like collaboration server. I'm sure somebody would figure out how to patch it or build their own, and whatever, it would be not as good of an experience as the real thing. And of course, there's also the value of floating licenses, which is the other piece of the enterprise collaboration server. So that's kind of the plan on that. Didn't really mean to go into it too much, but if y'all have any questions about it, let us know. So okay, that's the notes, the updates, the fixes. I think I got everything else. Let's see, did we get any other issues closed? And why did that one not show up on the closed issue list? It was closed 19 hours ago. So if I just do issues and all closed, is issue is closed. This one was closed 19 hours ago. Well, why did it only show 4 days ago? What's going on here? So 21 hours ago. How is this sorted by newest? Recently updated. Aha. There we go. That's a much better view. That's the one I wanted. Yeah, this was an old one that Glenn actually finished out several months ago before the last stable. We just didn't close out. Here's the one of Rusty's. Oh, I'm glad I did this. Yeah, there was a couple other ones I wanted to highlight. So XMPP Walkie, Jabberwocky, yes. It's not often you can get both like a Lewis Carroll reference and a Internet Protocol joke in the same sentence. Pointed out that the Binja's heuristic calling convention detection which tries to essentially figure out what calling convention is used, was making his life very difficult. Like it was predicting architectures that were just wrong, and or predicting calling conventions that were just wrong, and it was making it a real pain to work with. I think it was Thumb2 or some ARM binaries at the time, firmware in particular, that didn't have like an existing calling convention that we were trying to kind of guess. And one of the fixes, there's probably several things that are going to have that are happening to improve this. There's one set of changes that are still pending, but should be landing pretty soon. It'll address some other calling convention things. But one of those changes was basically, look, we've got calling conventions like the Linux syscall calling convention, for example. That's not going to be in the wild thing. Like the only time we should be applying the Linux syscall calling convention is when we are creating, we're analyzing something that we know is like a Linux kernel that uses that calling convention. We'll have either a type library, or you can, as a user, you maybe want to apply it. But what we don't want to have happen is just our heuristic detection to be like, oh, I've got a calling convention. This looks like this could be it, and applying it for that particular calling convention. And so this required, it was an easy change, but it just touched a lot of code. So you'll see there's a bunch of commits to all of our architectures, because all the platforms on the architectures got updated. And it basically said, there is now the ability for a calling convention to say, I'm a calling convention. You should be able to set me as an attribute on a function, and it'd understand that as the calling convention being applied. But don't guess me. Never just try to figure out and like auto match me heuristically. And so that's what that feature does. And then we specifically disabled it for that one. So that's another kind of bug that got fixed. Here's the one that this is still the 2.3. That's not what I want. Yeah, and then there was the one that I mentioned already with the copy and paste in the console. And I think, remember, access for nested structure is not properly. Yeah, this is the one that I believe is the same as that one. No, or maybe it was closed in favor of. I think that's a duplicate. Let's see. Yeah, duplicate of that one, which was just closed as well. Wait, no, that was a different number. It was a duplicate of 1649. Oh, right. The bug itself is just a misnomer. This is an annoying one. It was kind of weird. All right. A couple other UTF. I think that was another one. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if any of these were landed since. Yeah, I think it's about it since the last term. Cool. All right, let's pick a challenge. I haven't gotten, now the only feedback I've gotten from people on an RE challenge is do it live, like no foreknowledge. We want to see you fail, and I'm down for that. I will totally show you my meager RE skills. I am, again, probably among the worst RE people at Vector35, and also the worst developer. It's I get through the live streams, and I'm okay with that, but I know the extent of my skills. So if you don't have suggestions, I'll probably go get, I did poke for like 5 minutes at a couple of these reversing Kara challenges, so I might have to look at one that I haven't looked at before. Oh, Easy Elf, there we go. I did not look at this challenge. How about that one? That one looks good. But if y'all have any challenges, oh, let me grab that from my VM where I'm actually logged in, or my other host where I'm logged in. It is funny when I switch back to this machine, I forget like my hotkeys change. I'm always gonna remember that. Where do I want to do this? Files. Let's put it here. All right, let's grab. What do I want to have? We can do folder binaries. Probably should have been better organized. Of course, that'll hurt my tab completion of Binary Ninja, but I'll live. So let's go grab Easy Elf. We'll bring it to the VM. How's everybody doing today, by the way? We have folks had a good week? All right, so this was our test build. Oh, you know what? I didn't even verify that he had rebased his test build because it did have my fixes in it. I didn't actually know that before or was this one not test build? This is my debug build. That's fine. That'll work. Here we go. Let's build EasyElf. And you may notice this VMware, I think it's shown here. Yeah, this little sidebar here, which I've got from VMware on. If I don't have that on, there's this weird, not sure what exactly it is, but it was like causing this super annoying flicker in like the white balance or like the brightness of the display. But only on this external display with VMware Fusion when it was full screened. But if you do this overlay, it's a really ridiculous hack that keeps it's. I'm sure it's related to hardware acceleration, but just chill on Valgrind. Yeah, that's kind of my like thought process behind these streams is that people if they've had kind of like a long week can kind of hang out if they're just kind of coming off of some other stuff they can just sort of relax here. So EasyElf, they usually tell you if it's malware, right? So I'm gonna assume it's not actually malware, and I can just run this safely. But it is a VM that I can blow away pretty easily. Oh, they can leak the binary ninja source now. They get it. All right, so yeah, EasyElf looks like a password sort of crack me thing. I am yeah, I'm gonna try to like talk through my thought process and do this. I don't expect this to take very long. I want to get to the code writing and building of binges since that was the highest voted thing. I'll probably have to pick up some other challenges that are like longer term challenges and look for some that actually require some reverse engineering and some structural recovery, stuff like that to test those kinds of things. But one thing I note is this is interesting. This write, whatever this is compiled with, we don't have libc types for. So if I actually do like a little test on this box in order to build it, I think we ship the libc libraries for related to Ubuntu, and therefore you'd get the arguments for your write annotated on here. But we're not seeing this on this one. My guess is probably because it was compiled on a pretty old machine, because it's wrong one. Where am I going? This one. And yeah, we could figure out which one this is, but I bet it's pretty old. I did strings on the command line there, kind of out of habit. Ubuntu Precise. Which one is even Ubuntu Precise? It is pretty old. Precise Pangolin is 1204. Wow. Yep. Yeah, that was the only thing I thought about with some of these reverse and care ones, is I know that they are a little bit older, but maybe we could look at one of the later ones as well. So I see 12 people watching now. I don't think there's net splits. That's a good question, Valgrind. Maybe it's like the people close the chat. Yeah, so like on my confidence monitor where I look at the chat, I see 12. So there we go. See, you got some friends. Thanks, Adrian, for chiming in. International Adrian, maybe? No, it's I11N, right? Is this internationalization? Yeah, sweet. Thanks for chiming in, guys. It's good. We all need to let Valgrind know they're not alone. All right, so we've got our easy crack me. We hope it's easy. It's 100 points. If I found this, it'd be pretty bad. You know, the normal like big binary thing to do would be to look at strings and then just look through there to find something that's interesting. So like there's correct and there's wrong. Go with a cross reference on that. We already saw it kind of when we were looking at, but so this is the correct path. It's called here. So this presumably validates it. No arguments. Let's just check real quick. Oh, and actually, you know what? Show reflection. Let's turn on our reflection view because we're starting to. I don't think I'll need my Python console for this one, so let's just kill that. Let's leave a reflection on down here. I think that's a better use of real estate. So we're gonna leave maybe we can leave a low level or medium disassembly. Any of these are probably pretty reasonable, just because it's nice to keep a view of both of them. Obviously, it's more concise to get this, but like this function appears to not do very much, right? Like it's literally just calling scanf, and again, we don't actually have. Well, we know it's got 2 arguments, and the first one I believe is the format specifier. Was that scanf? Yeah, it's just so cscanf. format specifier. Yeah. So I'm going to hit A on that. A is going to turn it into a string. Oh, you're timing me? Yeah, I told you I'm not competitive reverse engineering anymore. I'm intentionally going slow and taking my time on this one. So we're just going to read a string in, and that's going to put it in here. Here's our target string. Oh, actually, cross references to be a target string. All right, so we've got that's this one here, right? Yeah, there's the scanf where it's reading into it, and we're going to, let's see. So this one is showing us a cross reference over here. Oh, I can't use my side scrolling. So EAX is presumably that pointer. Yeah, so this is nice. You'll notice that I named it target string. Oh, yeah, look, here's some lights on the XOR here. I named it target string, and then I went to the cross references, and I've got a cross reference here, which is like just a move. Oh no, wait, move EX byte. And yet it takes me to or show addresses. This is my reflection view, so I think it doesn't show addresses. I wonder if you can show addresses in reflection view. I don't think you can. I think by default it does not. If Brian's on, maybe he'll chime in. So anyway, I do see those too, right? These are obviously like ASCII characters being XOR'd. Wait, no, yeah, that's obviously not, because it's an 88, which is not ASCII printable. So 42 and then hex 88. And I assume these are probably just going to be offsets, right? These are probably just the second character. So target string was at 20, 21, 22, yeah, 22, 23. Right, so these are just all the characters. So we're comparing it, right? And then 24 is just, that's a straight up comparison, right? So that one's not being munged at all. So maybe I won't my console here. If 25 is not equal to 0, interesting. So these look like straight strings. No, 23, right? 23 is must be DD after XORing with 88, which makes sense, right? So let's just that's just going to be a U, right? So let's put just a comment in this. Will this work? Let's see. Oops. Comment wrong key. Yeah, that's fine. The comments in high level IL are going to go on whatever address and low level IL they're actually at. So in this case, we've got our first characters. We're going to be XORed with 4 and 2 ASCII, and then that 88. Decided that third one, which is going to be a U. So let's just leave that blank. We haven't actually looked at that one yet. And then our fourth one is an X directly. This one was a null. We're looking for a null. And then 7C. Oh, wait, is all that matters? The only thing that looks like it matters, though, is that that character that's a U, at least so far, this part of the comparison. So there's a null. There was, what was this? This is a pipe and an X. And then this is the one that actually XORed back out with the other one. So I'll use my little scratch pad over here. Null, pipe, X, and then that one was U. But yeah, maybe that's the only one. It looks like so far, unless we're missing something, the only thing that's comparing here is that. So let's keep going. Is it that's it? That's all it's doing? That doesn't seem right. So let's look. I mean, does it check the length of the string? Oh, so 21, is that the string? No, that's the second. Oh, 0 is the target string, the first character. So was I off by 1? I might have been off by 1. 23. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's the fourth character. Is actually must be a U. So my comment is technically off. And this is an ASCII if it's not equal to that. So, was my logic just backwards? I think it is. That's why, yeah, these are just zeroing it. Okay, so I do need to have those. That's fine. So the only tricky part right now is, so I don't think we actually checked 22. Oh, we do check 22. Oh, okay, that's right. Oh, okay, 22 is XORed. What I actually want to do there is 22 is OX32 and ORed of pipe, which I could have just not done the, it's an N. The other thing I kind of want to try in this afterwards is I haven't tried the Z3 plugin in Binja in a long time, but that can be a bit of a pain if because the way that it sets up with Docker. So I might play with that later. All right, so we've got our 1. So 0, 1, and then 2. We decided it was a capital N. That one had to be a U. X. That null doesn't seem right. There's something not right with that. If it's not equal to 0, that must have been one of the. How is that not XORed? There's no way they want us to send it a string. In fact, I don't think we. Yeah, no, you can send a null into scanf, right? I don't think it actually. No, does it terminate it? I think it may only terminate on new lines. Directive. So it will store an alternating byte. I want to say scanf can actually read it nulls. I'm not positive of that, but we can test it out either by debugging it or. Is it check the null terminator though? Because that's the that is the last one. Man, I am way off on this. I'm going maybe a little too slowly and wrong. Yeah, no, please, piston miner, by all means, backseat reverse engineer. That's the goal of this. The goal is not just to show off how bad I am at it. I'm not starting to sweat because I knew I was bad. So like if I actually felt like I had something to prove, then I would be, but that's okay. I knew I wouldn't be good at it, and that's fine with me. All right, so we've got our ASCII 1 at the beginning. Target string itself is, hold on a second. Where'd it go? 0, 1. Did we check 1 at all? Oh, right. 1 was this one. All right, let's just fix this. Actually, the XOR ones, this is actually really a better pen and paper kind of challenge. So target string is the base reference at 0, and it's going to get XORed with 34 and then compared with X. So we have our XOR of 34 X, so that's just a capital L. 2, 0, and then 1. Actually, 1 is the next one. That's just compared to just that one. It's just a 1. So it's just L1. Should have done this in the beginning. And then 22 is going to be similar kind of thing. We're going to XOR 32, and then we're going to compare 32 with the pipe. I've already done this, but I'm doing it again. L1N Linux, maybe? L1N. Oh, yeah, it was. We already knew this was a U, and we're going to recalculate that one. So it's L1 and a UX, and then a null. I think that's probably all it was. Yeah, it literally just wants you to say Linux. That's fantastic. Let's try that. Let's see, was it? Oh, all caps, I believe. Where did my? L1 and UX. There we go. Yay! All right. Declare an array. Yeah, let's do it. Let's actually change the type of that. That's a great point. And well, we know. So actually, yeah. And then the nice thing is because these references here, we even already know how. Oh wait, can I do this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Use the, is that even the asterisk? Yeah. So you can actually just hit asterisk on it. That's why we do these videos, right? So if you select a bunch of stuff in the Binja UI, like these aren't actually currently anything, I could hit 2 to make them all int16 size things, or 1 make them chars, or 4 make them dwords, and then I can hit asterisk and it turns them into an array, right? So all I had to do, those target string references were already there. Binja already analyzed because it saw all those individual character references, so it knew to make like bite-sized references there. But I could just take the whole thing and then make an array. And now if I go back, That's so much easier to read, right? Like, why didn't I do that from the beginning? This is why we have good backseat reverse engineers. Yeah, this would have been a lot easier. And then like, yeah, this would be amenable to like so much more. In fact, we could just about ask Binja what the values of some of these things are after the comparisons. Like, I think we could even, does the value set analysis tell us like at, let's try this. I'm really curious. So if we say like, what's the value of, no, we can't, I don't think we can't create on the memory, unfortunately. If these were moved, if these were, well, no, we've got, yeah, we've got it here. So BV as a current function, get reg, no, current function dot get reg value at, right? So after would be after we execute this line, but we're gonna do at, we're gonna do here because it's the line that I have selected, and the register is EAX, which I'm gonna spell right. Okay, so it doesn't know. Oh wait, well I want this side. Yeah, I don't know over there, but I do know over here. I should know the value of that byte. Yeah, I mean, like you could build a really simple I no, I don't believe you currently can query the possible value sets on memory. I don't think that's a thing. Yeah, it could just be AL. And in this case, it's already after the XOR, so it's not going to. Oh wait, I lost my here. That's why that one's not working. Here, right? Over here. Yeah, partial registers. That should have. I feel like that should have worked. Oh. Yeah, I mean that knows instead of value. It's how is it 0 or 1? Doesn't seem right. It should only be here if it's that's after the instruction, right? Yeah, so I think the hover is showing me is doing me to get reg value after. There's nothing actually where it's used in between, but you could do something interesting with like IL emulation. You could really adapt the plugin Jamie did, for example, that was emulating stuff to do that. We could also do something with like the Z3 solver and just be like, I want to get to correct. Please tell me how to do that. I mean, this is really simple stuff to model, right? There's just basic math, moving things out of a buffer, and there you go. But yeah, making the array was the right thing to do. Good call on that, and that would have made it. Look, I even misread my own comment. It's got a 1 there when I typed it in. I mean, so value set analysis is not more useful in any graph, I would say. Unless you mean does the UI know more about what's going on? Yeah, like these are all just gonna be the memory annotations if I hover off those because it's a pointer to a buffer. No, like I don't think the value set analysis is doing anything on the memory right now. I just don't think it implements that. It's not done. And part of the reason it doesn't do that is because in the context of this function, that memory or that register has that context, period, right? Like if the CPU context switches or comes away or there's a different thread, it doesn't matter. In this function, like stuff would break if I couldn't trust my registers throughout the function. So Binary Ninja knows for sure what those are. With memory, you've got threads, you have something else come out and swap something underneath, and like you have to be, Binary Ninja is not modeling the entire state of all the analysis, so it doesn't make assumptions about what could have happened elsewhere. But I mean, although obviously that's unlikely in legit code, but I think that's part of the reason. So, all right, well that's the easy one. Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to do anything crazy. That was meant to be very, very, very easy. We should do something harder next time, and we should like as a group we should analyze that. But that was very easy. That's what I was hoping for. I'm trying to think of those other things that would have made sense to do here to show off as well. I do think though that having the different views here makes sense. Where did our main? I'm trying to remember where. Yeah, here was our. That's the scanf. Check input. We could have named it. We could have done I'm going to name stuff a little bit better to make it a little bit cleaner. Does look much better with that array as well, though. And actually, that's a good point. That one of the sort of outstanding features left to finish off for high-level AL is its array detection. So being able to say, hey, this thing it might be an array, treat it as one big chunk, and offsets into it is something it does. Although in this particular case, it's not immediately obvious that it is an array because these all could be separate variables from just the code. There's nothing that ever treats the array like an the entire thing, at least in here. When it's written to, though, potentially, if you knew, you'd have to know what scanf is doing. So, all right, I think we'll move on to the coding time, unless y'all have any other questions or feedback. I'm actually going to kill that one. And this is our next major task. All right. So the reason, yeah, we can do it here. The reason that this is a problem, this has come up several times, is because this is ugly. This is not pretty. Part of it is because I have a bunch of plugins installed right now that are adding things to the right-click menu, and that's just sort of the default behavior for a plugin currently. But what we'd like to do is clean this up. And even if we had all the plugins inside of a plugin sort of subfolder on the right-click menu, there's still a lot of there's a lot of lack of organization for how things happen here. So I just got, and this is the special secret part of the show here, I just got Binary Ninja building on this box. And so this is the special sauce, the internal core of it that we're going to be building. Hopefully I don't flash too much of our source code. Just as a reminder, this is not the open source portion of it. So, not that I'm worried about anybody recreating the code of it, but just because you see it doesn't mean you have rights to it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue for the little bit of UI code we're going to be looking at. But you might get some insight into the code structure, which is kind of interesting. So let us bring up Visual Studio Code and let's make a new project. Yes. We're going to call this Binary Ninja. I use like the project manager plugin to, come on. Root path is actually home. V35 is a stream or V35? V35. I mean, the code style should be the same, right? Like the Arch modules were our internal code as well, with the exception that a couple of the modules, since they kind of had different provenance, where like one person would kind of go off and do it for a while, they were less collaborative than the main things. A couple of them had some differences, but should be the same there. So is that all it takes? I do have to be a little careful because the hotkey that on Mac for the command palette in VS Code is Command-Shift-P. Command-Shift-P in my VM will shut it down if I hit enter, so I have to be a little careful there. Don't save that config. Let's switch over to the Binja. Ooh, secret source code. Secret source code. All right, so here we are. And let's make sure it's still building. Actually, let's quit out everything else. All right, so there's that. I could use the Visual Studio Code, the build environment stuff, but I have it set up right now with just the CMake and the command line. So I'm probably just gonna use this. So let's see that build. I haven't changed anything, so it should still build. And then we'll prepare to dev Binary Ninja build out Binary Ninja. Okay, well that's fine. All right, so that's the previous build. We're triggering to build now. Didn't think I had changed anything, but apparently something I think has changed, so it's rebuilding some of the UI. Oh, people, yeah, start your stream recording. I mean, I'm recording the whole thing, so. Oh, I just noticed, Piston, on your question. Would you ever consider giving your customers limited symbols to be able to better diagnose issues? We've actually done that already. So yes, we would. There are currently some special folks that do actually have access to our symbols to help better diagnose things, right? So they can give us stack traces with symbols. Yeah, we are, for obvious reasons, a little sensitive to who we go that to, but that's an option. So yeah, talk to us if it would be of value to you and you think we would trust you, basically. But yeah, in fact, actually, that's the same. The people that have access to symbols are also those that have access to some of our commit messages. Although those we will be opening up. We just haven't got around to changing our build infrastructure. We do plan on having all of our dev commits where everyone's gonna be able to see our commit messages. When we first did it, we were worried about like someone's gonna say a dirty word in a commit message and make us, It turns out after 6 years of development, that's never happened once, and we're not super worried about it. And that was even when we thought no one was reading them, other than occasionally funny jokes that would be worth sharing. There's really nothing off topic in commit messages, and so other than our typos, as long as you don't judge us too harsh on that, I think the plan is that dev builds will eventually have commit messages coming out. It makes it easier too for you guys to know what changes happen without having to kind of ask us or ask one of the folks that can see it. So that's how you know who has symbols. People we've trusted if they answer questions about commit messages. But yeah, feel free to hit me up on that one. All right, so this is taking a lot longer than I expected. I don't know why it would be. Also, I think Glenn, if you're still on, I think I can disable any of the PySide stuff, right? Like this is the Python 3 UI stuff, which I don't really want. I think, is there a CMake option to like not do that? Oh, every time I change the UI header, does this? I didn't remember changing anything. But yeah, if there's a way to like skip this phase of it, that might make life a little bit easier. And I didn't even change any code yet, right? Like I'm just testing my build. Although it is something about timestamps, so as long as it works. All right, let me go back to. So let's actually look for the code. Now, what we want to do is we want to find the right-click menu code, right? And so let's open this. Of course, my box is going to be slow. The right-click menu is going to be different in the flow graph and the linear view. So let's start with flow graph because that's probably my default. And do we want to do? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, much like reverse engineering, even when I'm digging the source code, I will. Oh, that's funny. It's because PySide's building. That's good. I have to recompile everything after disabling PySide. Yeah, that's not worth it. I think we'll just deal with this for now. And that's probably also this clock skew detected because PySide is like, yo, you're in the future when I built that. All right, that's fine. It's not the other world. So the right-click menu here, rename current function. Sure, that's a reasonable one. So I'm going to do rename current function, and we can see we've got a flow graph widget version, we've got a linear view version, and we've got a view frame one. A view frame, this is where my ignorance will come through, and you'll see Glenn and Rusty will correct me or any of the other Vector35 folks. I think this one might be just the parent, but let's just go into oh, there we go. No, the view frame is the view frame is the parent of both linear view and the flow graph widget. So linear and graphs are all going to be inheriting from the view frame. So we can just check out how this is added here. And sure enough, we're right in the middle of where we want to be. We've got a context menu, and this is where we're adding our action. And so just for kicks, oh, there's a menu order first. Interesting. So I actually haven't seen this before. So let's see if this is a Qt thing or a Binjo source code thing. New order first Qt. Let's do Qt. All right, man. This is a Binjo thing. So it looks like the Control C, Control Shift F, Control V. You are first, right? So that is the action system, right? So we've got interactions, and this actually, you'll notice, is part of the public API. So because you've got all the UI APIs, I mean, yeah, I would like the recommended extensions for C++. Please do. Visual Studio, thank you for offering. Ooh, no, that seems risky. We're not going to do that right now. Thanks, code. So this, again, you can pull up yourself and go look through that. But we're going to do menu. Yeah, we're going to worry about that later. So first, early, normal, late. And the other thing to note, there we go, is that these add actions here that we can add in, this is the thing that puts in the folder, right? So if you put backslashes in your menus, in fact, you can even, as a plugin author, you can do this. You can register your plugin with these backslashes, and they'll do the same thing. So that display as binary, is true of. I should get rid of this menu. Anytime I pick a constant and I can choose how to display it, we're going to display as. See, this is why we need to make this fix. There it is, way at the top, which makes sense, right? Because we saw at the top of our source code. It makes a submenu just with those slashes, and you'll see even like the debugger plugin does the same thing. So you can create your own folder structure as a plugin as well, using the action system by just using those backslashes, which is kind of nice. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing, right? So what I'm going to be doing is moving things like all of these current function ones, right? So let's go back and look. Here's my current plan of attack in terms of the ordering and the submenuing. So like I want to take all plugins. Let's get plugins first because I think that'll be biggest bang for the buck. And let's just see if we can move all of these plugins inside of a plugins folder. So we need to find where the actions. So that's going to be. These are plugins that are not registering themselves in the action system, but the plugin loader itself is going to do it. So what we can look for is, we can look for this context menu. We can look for just add action. I'm really not good about remembering which keys are copied. So what we want is an add action that is a part of our plugin loading. So we can see, yeah, there's part of the API where it's happening, but it's probably not there. So we need to find, there's going to be the plugin loader, which actually scans all of the plugin folders and loads your plugins for you. And there's going to be an add action there where it's going to create the appropriate menu items. So plugin view. Let's see. What is plugin view? So check for plugin. Oh, this is actually in the plugin menu. It's the plugin manager. Yeah, the view in the plugin manager. So it's not there. Could be. Main window's got a bunch of them. It could be hidden up in there. Display view, doc view. There's probably a collapse all button that would just do this. Let's try that. Is there a no? Could also change our search and look for a little bit there. Console. Oh. And it should be add action. That should be the right. That should be the right action. It's all right. I knew there would be some moments where I was figuring stuff out. It's not plugin view. Oh, I'm not limited to. I should be looking at the core. Main thread. It's not plugin.py, is it? No, it's not there. Yeah, install the new Pylance extension. We'll try that later. Anybody in chat tried the Pylance Visual Studio Code plugin? Yeah, actually, I don't see where the plugins are loaded right now. Might have to move on to one of the other ones that we want to clean up. Or we'll see if, oh, add plugin command actions. See, I'm really glad Rusty's on. Thank you. All right, so let's see where this is done. Oh yeah, so this is adding to the tools menu. Yeah, add plugin command actions. So we actually, and let's see, what is this? So the right click, yeah, so we've got the tools menu here has got a plugins section. And actually, I am also not opposed to moving all of these inside of a subfolder that says plugins as well, because this is already starting to get pretty big. And we may want these other ones to be different. So we can, I'm okay if we change all those at the same time. Let's try it. We can experiment with it. So right, this is it right here, right? So this is going to add a plugin command action, and there's also the, yeah, if it's got a group that's specified, we've already got a way to, yeah, so there's already a version of this API that will take a prefix and then an ordering as well. So set ordering is going to be the order that we already saw as a parameter. So we could actually change, we could find the calls to add plugin command actions, and we could move all of them, or we could just say, look, all plugins we want to live inside of tools, right? So we could actually just do, let's just do this, Q string plugins, right? And that's going to create, so then our action is actually going to get all of these here. It's a cool idea, my plugin author. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to think about like how this scales, right? When you have lots and lots of plugins. Plugin author is not a terrible way to do it. So let's just build that real quick, and then we'll keep going because these builds are, or we'll find out the error that we made. Oh, what did I do? Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it. Wait, no, hold on. No, Jordan. I told you I was the worst developer in the company, right? That's why they let me stream. All right. So that should move all of our, now we're not actually gonna, anything that then, the interesting aspect of this will be any plugin that already groups itself, that already has a group of commands, will be grouped and then the sort of top level thing. But that's kind of okay because they're already sort of organized a little bit better. So we can see what this looks like when we build it. Actually, I probably should have thrown an and ampersand to launch it on successful build, but we'll live without it. All right, so back to our list of things. So that's gonna change the way that our plugins are organized, and it should make the action for all those plugins be in a submenu, which will clean them up a little bit. Let's go and look for, yeah, so what we want to do is move these into appropriate groups as well. So let's take address or variable. Let's just do function actually, because that's got probably the most of them and might also clean it up a little bit better. So let's go back to view frame, right? Yeah, and you'll notice, by the way, that this plugins is added with a menu order late, right? So that's going to control. One of the things we might have to do as we're doing this is we may want to add some higher granularity in the ordering here, if we really want to control this more exactly. Or it doesn't really matter too much. I'm not super worried about that the exact order matches exactly these. I really just want this hierarchy. That's like the main thing that I want to work on. Is I want this just to be cleaner. So let's go back to our rename function. And a lot of this, again, we can just do from here, because what we want to do is, so let's take everything that was related to a function, and we're going to pull those up into here. So create function. I think set stack adjustment was one of those that lived. Should, yeah. Oops. That needs to live here. We'll adjust them all later. No, is call type. Yep, also one that we want here. Change type is not just on functions. So there's also create function. So some of these, obviously are not going to live in the same place, right? And so some of these are going to be context dependent. So it's one of the nice thing about the action system is they can depend on, where it's being called from. And so in this particular case, it's just looking, is this a valid address, right? And then if it is, it's going to make it say create function at this. Oh, if it's a symbol, yeah, if token valid, and the address of the valid token, otherwise create a function, right? So set action display name. I actually don't remember the difference between set action display name and register action. So let's just look real quick. I mean, the ultimate thing that we're going to want to do is we can probably just start by. I got my slashes backwards, didn't I? Yeah, I did. It's just an escape backslash. So we could probably just find any of those that we want to do this on and do the same thing. So let's find all the created functions, and we're going to put them all there. Oops. Just reparent all those. Okay, so that's another simple. Yeah, this long iteration time might be a little annoying. Or I'll just change my system clock, kick my screensaver off. I might just do that. We're gonna change the date in this box so we don't have to worry about these builds. Yeah, so let's test that real fast. Dates. Is there a faster? Can I do this? Nope, you're not. I want you to be tomorrow. That should be. Are you tomorrow? You're tomorrow. Excellent, thank you. All right, make and out binary ninja. Or did I go the wrong way? No, I think I should go in the future. All right, if Rusty was saying that I gotta wait. Oh well, let's in the meantime just kick it off again. We'll get another one randomly popping up and interrupting us somewhere. That's another reason I have J3. So the VM has 4 cores, so I've got one of them building. Let's just see if we've got. So the previous change was plugins. Oh, okay. I don't see a bunch of plugins. That's good and bad. The bad is they're not here at all, so they're gone. The good is they're not. But these are good. Yeah. So, because they don't match, right? Because I think we're changing them on the tool menu here, but we didn't change them in the right-click menu. So I actually think that in general is a nice thing. So if there's a plugin that registers something, throw it into here. Although why I see Ninja here is, they're doing something different with how they're, yeah, they're doing that. Why this one ends up there and these don't, but I'm not against that. We can decide on that later, right? We'll play with that. So where was our plugin one that we made? The other change that we made. It's back over here, right? We could. Yeah, so I think that's part of the problem. Is the other ones, if they use this, they're going to avoid our little prefixing that we're going to do. Oh, and the machine gets a little loaded. The Vim emulation sometimes lags a little bit. Okay, there's submenu actions. Remove. Yeah, I mean, obviously the remove is going to have to be changed too, because otherwise we're going to have a problem where it's not going to be looking in the right place. Right, so we just want the bare to add. Right. All right, so we'll have to remove from here. So we're going to remove it consistently. And yeah, I think we'll leave the other ones alone. So what we lost was the right-click menu. So the right-click context menu is Why would that not be? Did the group not exist yet? No, I think you could do it without making a group. The submenu version of all. Yeah, that's yeah. If I actually, that's a good point. Let's just do that. That because the code's already there to do this cleanly, right? So let's just change the add plugin command actions calls that we're using to do the ones that do the prefix, and we'll specify it. That's a much better way. So we're gonna do. Oh, also that was wrong, anyways. So let's remove that. That was right. Yeah, that was right. All right, so we remove those, and what we want to do is we want to find this one, which I think I've already got here, right? So where are we calling? I think I broke that, right? I accidentally deleted a character. I get revert. This is just going to be void, right? Okay. Wait, what? No. Save. Wait, what? Oh, that's how it got deleted. I'm hitting Command S instead of Control S. That'll do it. Yeah, piston miner. That's basically the idea. Either remove it entirely or remove it unless you're already grouped if you have multiple commands, but removing it entirely is not a is more likely. Like everything will essentially live under everything would live under plugins, right? You have a plugins folder here for everything. So yeah, so I'm just gonna find out where I'm calling, because right now I'm calling add plugin command action somewhere to add, or well, the current code is calling it to target address is not the one I want. Not the one I want. Not the one I want. So what is actually calling add plugin command actions? I don't see where it's actually adding all the plugins. Something should be calling this. Oh, it's not this one because those are just static strings. Yeah, doing it as an option piston miner is not a bad idea. Like sort of force plugins into a submenu. I don't know though. I think that I think forcing it as a submenu and maybe not even making an option is perfectly fine. And the reason I think that is because the command palette's there. So if you want faster, better access to stuff, you don't want to have to click a bunch. Like you could bind it to a hotkey, you could do something else. You can, you have a lot of options for getting to it quickly. So I'm not against forcing to always be in a submenu. Oh, our building is done. I think it's done. Is it loading? Did it load Binja into another window? I missed it. Not yet. I don't think I missed it. Maybe I did. So this one should have our function ones changed, right? So you should have. No, these were not. Maybe I didn't save before I built. That would be unfortunate. Wait a minute. That's the other one. The previous build. Let's simplify this a little bit. Oh, you know what I want? Where's the git diff extension so I can see. Have I not changed anything? I know I've changed things. View frame. Yes, like this, like I've specifically changed. Ah, there we go. Yes, I hadn't saved it, right? Now I've got changes. Okay. Yep. Yep. All right. So now I don't know why it was hanging after building. Let's just do that again. Yeah, if I continue development on the next stream, I'll make sure my so the normal rebuild time is real fast. It's only a less than a minute or so. Much less than that, even if you've only touched like one file, depending on what you're doing. Oh, there we go. That is better. Yay. So can I do this now? I can. Much better. Okay. Now we got faster turnaround times. So make function at this address is not in a submenu, which is what I expected. I think I had that one on there. Oh, so there's the hex editor. Yeah, so we want to leave that option in the hex editor view, but the linear view, yeah, we want to change that. That's why we missed that one. So that one, that makes sense. That didn't change then. All right, that one's going in. Why did my machine hang? It's weird. Okay. What else do we have? And do we have... Yeah, so we still have our plugins here, but we should have them... Oh, that's right. We pulled them out of there. We removed that change because that one wasn't working right. So we still need to figure out how to get them during the right-click context menu. But rename current undefined, those should have changed. So let's rename current, right? Oh, because they're in the view frame, right? We have to change all the references to it. That's why we missed it. Yep. All right. So they're all nice and tidy here. So we can add those. This is flow reference, absolutely, with the same. And then current function analysis, yeah, we actually want that one to live in the submenu as well. And that's where you can change things like the dead store elimination and a couple other nifty things. So for sure, so it was there. And let's save it this time. All right. Okay. And we got over here. We already got these done. This one, I missed a character. Okay, so let's see how it's looking now. All right, slow start, but. Oh, add action. Is it just the first argument to add action, probably? Or yeah, let me look at add action. Oops. So used to a Mac with a touch bar that I never action group in order. Submenu action group in order. Perfect. Yep. Thanks, Rusty. All right, so let's go back to all of our diffs. Use the APIs that exist. Okay. Make sure we get them all. If you guys really wanted to have seen good stuff, actually, we should just have Rusty and see if he wants to stream and build a... Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, the hotkeys would have been broken, right? Because the actual names would have changed, but now the names will be the same. It's just grouped into it. This is why Rusty is the main software architect, and I'm the guy that does live streams. Because bind action, yeah, exactly. I want to leave this alone, right? So I'm not changing the bind action because the hotkeys in the binding are going to be on the name. It's just grouping it when you do the add action here. We want to use that API instead. And this is, again, this is actually relevant to any of the plugins, right? So if you're writing UI plugins in particular, like this is how you can do it too. It's the exact same APIs that you would use there. In fact, I do that already. You'll notice that I showed this a second ago. Like the snippets plugin already has all of the snippets registered in the action system here too, right? So if you bring up the snippet editor, and you can see all of the snippets that exist here that you can bind to hotkeys or whatever, it just uses the same action system. So if you add a hotkey here, it gets saved into the snippets file, which live in your user folder. So snippets. So you'll see actually inside of each of the files here, there's just like a little bit of metadata at the top, and it includes a serialized, it includes the name, the description, and a serialized string for the hotkey if you've got one bound. And then when it loads them all, essentially it walks through them and it creates these kind of same actions. And so it does the same thing. So that's a, I wrote it, but it's an open source plugin, and any other plugin can do the same thing. So it's the same action system. So it's useful to know the stuff. This is not just like internal code, and which that's the nice thing is like even, a lot of the stuff we do, we're all using the same public APIs. So I think that caught register is fine. Add action has been converted. Bind action, so wait, register action. Yeah, I think the registers are fine. We want, actually, yeah, I was doing this here. I was doing a bind action. I don't think bind action should have those functions, right? Let me look at that. Actually, here, let's just look at the definition. Oh, that'll work. Yeah, it just has the action name. There's not. Yeah, no, that's what I was just. I did the thing that I said you weren't supposed to do earlier. So let's remove that. And this was rename current. It was kind of my cheat for finding this. So bind action we leave alone. Yep, bind actions we should leave alone. Hopefully it makes you all feel better when you see me mess up this much, right? This is normal. But here's the key thing right here, right? We're adding it to this the submenu. So why does that? I don't understand. I have no idea why that's not working. That should absolutely work. Let's save just to make sure I did that again. Actually, let's save them all. Probably a save all hotkey, I bet, but yeah, I don't know why I can't. I do that all the time. Open up the build after it's complete. I'm curious, for those of you in chat that voted on the Twitter poll for working on this, did you vote for it because you wanted to see me do it, or did you vote because you just wanted it done because the right-click menu annoyed you? Because I'll keep working on this probably off stream if I don't finish it now. Yes, I quit it. That's fine. So if you just want the feature, that's fine. I'm going to keep working on it. But if you're actually enjoying seeing me code it, that would be nice to know. And now, oh, embarrass. Hold on. I don't see it. Make function. This address is not in a submenu. Oh, wait, hold on. Well, so yeah, you really don't want to see my binge and dev workflow because again, I'm the one that I don't really tend to work on the core very often. UI I touch occasionally, like minor fixes and stuff. This is within the scope of what I might kind of touch. But oh, Rusty's here to like absolutely. Well, I mean he's here to make sure that like when I screwed up, I have somebody to answer. I didn't actually ask for him, but I appreciate it being here because it is nice to have an expert who can tell me when I'm looking at the wrong APIs. Although you might be doing other stuff too in the background. So, so I'm not, so like make function at this address was one of the ones I changed, right? So Oh, no, it was not. Show tags at location. Rename current. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Where's the ones I added? I added the add action ones here. Okay. Rename current function, undefined current function. How do I have one here again? I didn't want that one. Actually, let me kill that one so I don't forget. And let's move this. There we go. So if I right click, well, oh, that might have been flow graph too. I wasn't looking, was I? I bet that wasn't just flow graph. That's probably why it's not. So let's pick a function. Let's go into flow graph. And now let's right click and see. So there's all the plugins. It's not doing it. Why are they not going in? So I think that this is. Thanks, Brenly, for doing this for your colleague. I mentioned this actually, but let me double check this. I always refresh my memory by looking at like old code I've wrote and seeing what older, wiser Jordan did. Although snippets are a little weird because the way that they register actions as kind of on the fly by creating a callback. I think I have a dog trying to break in. Is there a dog in there? Or a child? No one's willing to admit it. So, yeah, I like to look at the add action. So you can actually, on the menu, you can add the action. And that is the... So in this case, add action takes the text and then the group. Actually, maybe I was doing it wrong. Maybe that action goes at maybe the grouping is all I need, right? Because like at least here, grouping everything under snippets puts it in there, and I'm not explicitly telling it. So maybe that's what it was doing wrong. Let's look at add action again. So add action, no, not that one. Should be action. Where's the action system itself? There we go. So, no, submenu. Oh, no, that's right. That's a submenu if it's like, so tools would be the submenu. Tools is the submenu, I think, or no, is tools the main menu? Let's see. Yeah, in this case, but I think the grouping it under there, let's try that, right? That's easy enough thing to try. I'm not sure I'm, let's go back to, what was our flow graph widget? Close. Let's go find our rename current, our examples here. So now I don't want where I register. I want to do it where I add them. They're already grouped under function. Yeah, so it's not the group that's putting in there. It should be this one, I would have thought. And this is view frame. Linear view doesn't have an add action, just the bind action. Where it's binding it to the, again, there's like the linear view and the flow graph widget are each implementing different view frames. You look at my other code again. I don't. That's a good point. Yeah, GitHub. Come on, where's dark GitHub? Sorry if you're in a dark room right now. Does GitHub have a dark mode? I don't remember. So this is why I look here. So I have to remember. So yeah, I can. You can do this, but as Rusty said, you have to be careful doing it. So I've added like the snippet editor itself. So the first thing I do is I register the action, and then I bind it to where it's supposed to go, and then I add it, right? So if I didn't do this last step, this is just adding it to the menu. In this case, it's adding it to like the tools menu. This is so it gets it in the action system itself. Or so you know, this adds it to the action system, and then this is what says this is the function that action should trigger. So it's register, and then we bind it where it goes, and then in this case, I'm adding it to the menu. Okay, so I'm refreshing my own understanding of how this API works. Yeah, I'm not logged in on that one. Man, look at all these. GitHub's finally catching up to what Binder Ninja shipped by default. Okay, so it will add action. Yeah, this is adding it to the context menu. This is the action that I want. And this should be the sub menu, right? Because yeah, that was add action, sub menu. This looks like, I feel like this is right. I feel like this is right. So why is it not working? Oh, well, there's one problem here. So let's actually, yeah, let's organize these things here because we've got all of these in different places. So this should be adding all of these. I wonder if that was part of the problem. And we would have broken that one because we did it wrong. That might have been what was breaking it. That's entirely possible. So let's rebuild and look back. Yeah, so this should put everything here inside of our function submenu. So let's see how that goes. Uh-oh. I just noticed my stream is in the red. Does it mean I'm recording or does that mean stream quality is low? Y'all still hear me? Oh, no one's replied yet. Let me check my own. Testing. Okay, all right. Thanks, Brentley. What time is it there, by the way? I know you're like getting up on a Saturday. Sweet. Thanks, everybody. Sorry about that. False alarm. All right. Now let's open up something and so we were doing it in flow, so it should be everywhere. No, I don't see any of the function ones. Yeah, I don't think I need, so I don't think it's a difference between Python here because if I actually just look at like the add action, or actually here, let's peek the definition. I've got add action, which is a string for the submenu, the action itself, and then the group. Unless the group needs to also be function. I think the grouping is for clustering. It's the ordering of items within the menu. Oh, okay, 1030 is not too bad. That's not too bad then. So we can try. Yeah, so that like the ordering is the grouping is so that like things can be grouped within the same submenu without you like the idea is that you don't have to explicitly set order, and this makes sense when you have an extensible menu. When you have people adding in multiple things to the menu, like you don't want to be like this is number one, this is number two. Yeah, that's why that this ordering is already kind of generic. This optional ordering thing here at the end. Although you notice this is menu order late plus one, problem solved. We're always going to have these two, relative to each other. We do have a little bit of flexibility there, but this is like a nice little thing where you can just say like these are all functions. Maybe these are all, we should be able to. But this is bugging me. Why is the context menu? This is the view frame context menu. It should totally be. I don't think I have to add the submenu because unless the Python maybe automatically adds it, but maybe the native ones do not. Let's look for an example of something else as a submenu. Actually, that's a good one. So let's go look at, I think highlights, for example. Highlight instruction, right? That's one. So highlight instruction. Oh, bind highlight color action. Oh, that's fancy. That one has that has some specialness to it. So maybe that's a bad one to look at. Let's not do something that looks to be one-offed. So make function at this address already does this. I thought we already looked at that. Yeah, and so set action display name. Right, that's nice. That's gonna actually change whatever your default platform is. We'll actually add it to it, even though the hotkey that's bound to it is based on the action name. So it can be consistent, but then you can display a different context depending on what your actual platform is, which is pretty cool, right? So that's what this code here is doing. But makes function of this address, yeah. So let's see here. Section display name, register action. So this one's just using the backslashes to register it as well. Set ordering. Oh, there's some more APIs here. We're learning about the action system too. Set group ordering. Interesting. Make functions to address default. So maybe that one's not as good. Is there any other ones? Looking for other submenus. Patch. Patch is a submenu. It would be hard to search for though. Let's try this. Patch. This though is the edit menu where it's adding the action of the, again though, this is add action and it's just adding a group. It's not actually adding, right? Let's peek this one. So action, group, and order. Yeah, so in this case, edit, assemble, and edit compile C source, which edit, oh, those ones are main ones, right. It's grouping them here under the patch group. Okay, so that's as expected. There's no submenu there. It's only the, so these are both, yeah, those are both the edit menu. That's not the disassembly view. So edit current line is added to the patch submenu that way. That one doesn't use the syntax. Just for kicks. Well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to actually change this because again, that will change the hotkeys bound for people. Because these don't look like they're using that. Well, yeah. These are not doing sort of what they should do either, which is the right way of using add action without that. I'm wondering though if those APIs might have, either I'm using them wrong or something's not right with how that works, because these are all just like sort of hard coding the folder structure into the action itself, which we were trying to avoid doing. But I'm not convinced that's gonna work. There is API access in collaboration. Yeah. There is some, I forget the exact specifics, but there is some API ability because it's like everything we do, everything's an API. But yeah, maybe if Glenn's still around, I don't know if he's hopped off or not. He can chime in. Section semantics. Oh, okay. Well, good. I don't feel so bad. So Rusty went off and actually figured out the answer. There is indeed a bug in the API. So for now, we can't do this. That's bad news. But the good news is we know not to keep working on it. So yeah, I think though the nice thing is like I sort of know the workflow, right? Like this is what we want to be doing. whenever we get that bug fixed, I can move all of the functions into the function menu, and this will keep the same settings and matching for the actions, because the action names aren't changing. It's just where we're adding them to the menu goes. And despite kind of my slow start, I think I've refreshed my memory and have a better sense of how I want to do this, right? So my goal is basically just find all of the places where the context menu gets actions added to it. And we're gonna keep we're gonna like organize them into these groups. We might even do subgroups. That's actually one of the things that I debated. Here, for example, like I originally had this as two separate functions. So I actually had like selected function and current function as two high level menus. And then I was going to have the current function ones. I missed one. I don't like the way that I do not like the way that the thing is highlighting. Like that. But instead what we can do is we can use the group by. So we can use the group by to say like, hey, keep these three always grouped together because they're related to the current function, or these four. And then other ones that we can have like grouped separately automatically without worrying about the specific order for each of them. And I think so. I'm a little one of the only things I was looking into this like originally that confused me is the copy and paste, right? So I'll have to figure out these copy paste copy address here and these copy as paste from, because some of these are like just the like from Qt, I think. I'll have to figure how those are actually added. But in the meantime, I think putting the plugins. Let's actually. I wonder if this will let me find the plugins, because it should be. Or alternatively, if I can find add action anything besides a quote and turn on regular expressions. So this is sort of a dynamic thing, right? Anytime we add an action, still looking for that plugin. Like I want to have, so I've got the, we've got the, we organized the plugins on the tools menu. We did figure out where to do that. So we could put all these plugins in there. And I do think that's a good change. I think we should do that, because cleaning up that menu is also one of the goals. And then, in fact, that one actually I could just commit right now. But actually, what time is it? All right, not too bad. So yeah, so that one I'm definitely gonna land. We'll move all the plugins in there. And this is the tricky one though. Like, where's the context menu getting these plugins? So I'm gonna see if I can chase this down. Looking where. Again, I'm just regex searching for add action, trying to find like where are we adding actions that are not actually view list? No. This is where we're getting our transform menus. So we are going to want to change that too, right? All these transforms that are added, we're going to put them in. I guess it already has, copy as. What we would be doing is just changing the ordering. So we'll be adding an order to cluster the copy paste wherever we want it to be. Oh, right. We knew that. Yeah, but this is the same API that Rusty pointed out before. The issue is we got to figure out where this API is being called from. Turn that, because I always forget. Oh. Yeah, this is it. This is the plugin one. This is all it is. That's exactly what it is. It already iterates over all the plugins. And this is adding to the context menu. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's fix that. So we just want prefix, and then the group. Yeah. So this should be just a matter of just doing this. Oh, let's see if we can do that. That alone would make my life better. I would like that, even if that's all we do on stream today. Yeah. Okay. I was just saying we're gonna have the same problem, so it's not gonna be, yeah, because it is specifically the context menu that's broken. So we might have the same problem there. But we at least know when that bug is fixed, that will be the change. Yeah, so they've disappeared now, but the bug is that they don't show up right. So it's the context menu that's the problem. The tools menu we can clean up though. Okay, cool. So I think we know what the plan is. This one we can't land yet because we've got that bug. But it's a really, really easy fix, right? That's a much better change than the other one that we were gonna make. And these, likewise, we can't add any of those yet. So we can undo those changes. Yeah, and actually the set action display names, we didn't want to change those anyways. So let's undo basically everything that we've done. Let's check this and see what changes we've got. Yeah, let's revert all of these. Discard changes. Yep, thank you for asking. And what do we got here? I don't see only this. I think it's just cleaning up top. Let's get those changes, but we want to do, we still want to put those back. So let's get our tools. Yeah, maybe tools, add plugins. Yeah, so we can just do, right? So by adding that one in the subfolder on the main menu, that should actually work. So we should have that. That should produce the result we want. So we've at least made the tools menu a little bit better. And we know what we're going to do for the right-click menu. I could still reorder them. I could still work on reorganizing them a little bit, but I really wanted the submenus just to make it more visually obvious, but not a bad idea. We can reorder them. So we should have our pretty tools menu. Much cleaner there. Although, yeah, so these, oh, I know why these are doing it this way. Okay, so the reason these are doing it this way is because these are UI plugins that are making the same calls directly, right? So UI plugins can always add them to any menu directly they want. That's just kind of by convention that they don't now. But these are all the plugins that just like register for whatever. Those are going to automatically be moved in the plugin directory. So that's what that change is going to do. I don't know that we would necessarily force prevent anything from doing this. What we'll probably just do is like I'll just modify snippets to stick it under there, for example, or we could, you know, kind of by convention make people do it to Piston Miner's request earlier, because I think this is pretty good for most of the plugins that don't use the action system to directly add themselves to a menu already, instead of using the other register for kind of API calls. So let's that's actually pretty clean there. Some nice looking type libraries. So yeah, okay, so that's the one change that we can make. We could land that, but let's go back to view frame. Oh, that's fold. That's cute. Control Shift bracket doesn't go left and right tab, but goes there. Okay. All right. Interestingly, though, copy is listed as first, or cut, copy, and paste are listed under menu order first. And those are early, but these end up being above it, which doesn't seem right to me. Add cross-reference to, why would that be? Yeah, that doesn't seem like that one should be. Oh, it's because it's grouped under annotate. That's why. Yeah. So we can use annotations to change these or use the grouping rather to change the ordering now, even if we can't put them in a subfolder. So just changing the grouping here would do it. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The set group order. I think I saw that in one of the other API calls. Yeah, there's the set ordering. Um, I don't understand that one. That doesn't make sense to me, but this, yeah. Yeah. Unless display as follows annotate. Oh, yeah, it's the all of the display as is in the annotate group. So that does make sense. You can do it, Visual Studio Code. You can find it. It's just path and then group, right? Yeah, and you can optionally specify the order, the ordering of this whole submenu basically where it lives, as well. And then there's the group ordering within the group. Use this rule for ordering. Yeah, and the menu order. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Welcome, Shusheng. Yeah, I'm going a little bit later. You can catch me on the VOD, but you missed me fumbling with some code changes as normal. But we found a bug. We've made some changes to this. I did show off everyone your variable selection stuff. Yeah, one of these days when we're doing a stream, we'll have to bring Shusheng on to show off something he's working on. He can join me on stream if he wants to be. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, even if I didn't actually land a whole lot of code today, I definitely refreshed my memory a lot on the action system and the menuing and how the stuff works. So I think I'm pretty well situated to start doing this. Let's look at this. We can. So we've got clipboard, and then annotate, and then bookmark, and I think bookmarks end up down. Where are they? Oh yeah, those are pretty high. Bookmark, tag, and show tags are all part of the bookmark group, and it's annotate and then bookmark. So I assume these are actually just being alphabetical order right now. The groupings themselves. We're not going to abuse that. We could, right? We could cheat and abuse that to change how we're grouping things. But I think it makes more sense. Let's just start with changing some of these groupings. So for example, we know we want. Let's see. Where did I put go-to address? I don't remember where I did that. It should probably be under here. Yeah, I think go-to address should live under address. So we've actually got, yeah, all right. So this actually gives us our organizational structure a little bit. So go-to address is under the address, and this is kind of, this may not be exactly the form it's going to take, but there's also copy address. Yeah, so this says copy here. This is actually just, oops, it's not bin mode. Copy address there. And so, yeah, right here. Yeah, copy address is currently listed in clipboard, which is like a reasonable thing, but I think putting it under the address group when we do things by address, I think that'll make more sense to have it under there. What else do we have under address? Add cross-reference to. It's kind of by address. Yeah, I could argue that. I could see that going kind of either way. And then enter comment. Comments are address based. You could also, I mean, annotation is perfectly fine too. That makes sense as well. But I think it actually is kind of nice to sort of reiterate that right now, anyway, comments are based on the address. Like that's an important component of it. So when we have these actually being submenus, like when we've actually got it working where we can just go address, we've already got them kind of organized here. So that's how we want to do those. Variables, we got rename, change type. Okay, so rename variable. Actually, let's do this. So not a submenu yet, but it will be. These are both going to be variables. What else do we have? Change type could live off of variables. Yeah. And then set user variable type. No, that's a register action. That's not what I want. Yeah, there we go. It already is in there. Okay. Change type. Do this in variables. So this will just give us our kind of clustering that we want on our final grouping, even if we don't. Yeah, Gasolin, if you disagree, feel free to chime in. Like this is kind of why I was doing this one on air. There's definitely sort of some judgment calls and this stuff. Although again, like I also really do argue as well that the action system is the better way to do most of these things. We're hopefully going to convince people to start doing that. Undefined variable should definitely be under variables. What do we have? Undefined symbol. So how do I use search in this thing? I don't know how to use this text editor. I should just pop up in Vim. Maybe better off. Actually, I still can. Cancel. Close. Save. Find. Oh, I was hitting the wrong key. Yeah, I didn't actually have symbols here. So, like symbols could be under variables. You could do variables and symbols. You could do a separate symbol thing if there's enough. And some of these, when I did my instruction, yeah, I actually don't think I have annotations. I don't have anything under annotations. So my current structure. This is my proposed structure here. Is there won't be annotations. Like it's a question of like where are you adding the annotation? Like what are you annotating? Are you annotating a function? Or are you annotating a variable? Are you annotating an address? Yeah, this is an experiment. I don't disagree that we might want to have some of them not live there, like the most common things, like add a comment or rename a thing. Maybe belongs top level no matter what. But a lot of that depends on how big it already looks like when we submenu it. So I definitely agree with you, and I think this is sort of like an experiment to try it and first clean up. I mean, and there's obvious stuff, right? Like the plugins that we know should not live there because it just makes it awful. That'll help a lot. And but like some questions I still don't know. Should copy, cut, paste be top menu? My vote is probably no in linear and graph view, but yes in hex view, for example. Right? Like I think that like you're less common to be certainly like cutting and pasting are not as common. But like copy might be, but putting it in a submenu is not a huge deal. Also, I think most people are just going to use Control C if they want to copy or Command C. So, you know, yeah, like cut and paste, I think just are confusing in these views, and there's also some related changes. Actually, Shusheng worked on one of them, but like or has been talking about one of them, but like right locking, like you should not accidentally paste on top of a binary. It should the very first time you should do that, it should be like, hey, you just tried to change a binary. Are you sure you want to do that? I mean, I do actually paste things in binaries, but I'm doing weird stuff like pasting snippets of code around or just pasting in. Although most of the time it'll just be like a raw hex view that I'm pasting, in which case it's fine. I mean, it's happened. I've pasted a patch before. It's not wise, but it shouldn't be top tier functionality. It shouldn't be easier to accidentally do and blow away your analysis. Oh, I'm fully acknowledged I'm a weirdo. There's no debate there. I'm not gonna argue that. But yeah, it's an annoying bug, and it's I think bitten a lot of us. So we definitely want to land something that will like basically right lock it. Why did all these things? Yeah, so many things can change when you accidentally paste something into the wrong menu. You thought you had focus and you didn't, and you pasted it on top of hex. So the current plan for that is the first time you try to ever make a change to a binary in one of these views, it will say you sure you meant to do that? Like, you know, it'll basically be right locked by default. And maybe it's even like a preference of like, no, really, I never want to do this. I just don't ever want to paste directly over it into one of these views. But like still let it work in hex view. I think in hex view it should absolutely be, you know, expected and normal, but so it violates the principle of least surprise quite often when people accidentally paste, I think. It's not what they expected to have happen. All right, yeah, so let's keep kind of organizing these things a little bit. So we've got address variable. Like I said, I'm trying this. I want to put. I'm debating between like variables and symbols. I kind of think they should live here, but I'm not. You know, I don't know. I think they're somewhat similar. So let's just start with it for now. We can change it. The function menu. Yep, that's next. We want to do that. And yeah, whatever. I don't like the way that I. Oh, right. I told you. I told you I was the worst developer. See, this is why I get to do live streams, because we want all of the competition to think I'm a normal developer of Vector35, and then the real developers can continue to do really good code. You want to tip your hand. Maybe we don't want Rusty to be on stream coding, be giving away too much about what we can actually do. All right, so we're moving function into here. Set stack adjustment, that's a function-based thing. Override call type, that's a function thing. Yep. Yeah, and so this will make it really easy when we go to actually fix that bug, to be able to like already have the organization done. And it's literally just a matter of copying the third argument into the first, and poof, it should basically just work. So highlight, I think I had that as a high level thing. I think highlight currently, I've been debating this. I'm curious. Oh, there we go. Look at this. If Rusty lands the bug, merging it in on my Streambox would be a little more complicated, but nobody highlights. Nobody uses, I mean, I guess plugins highlight. I might know a particular plugin that you wrote that does highlights, but yeah, like people manually highlight. All right, where do we put that? Do we make a I don't want to do I debated this originally. Do I do this? The very original one I didn't. Highlight block and highlight instruction. Let's put that under address. Even a block is still a block of addresses. Oh, nice. I can just throw that fix live here. All right, let's do it live. Menu instance layout menu. Change the prefix plus I dot. Yeah. Prefix plus, that's it. Okay. Double check first. Oh, there's get visibility. Show in action. Wait, hold on. Inside of show in action. Oh, no. Yep, not that one. Not that one. Inside of show inactive. Show in action actions. Inactive actions. I think that's probably the one that, yeah. I think that's what. Oh, there's 3 of them. Yep. Thank you. Should have scrolled. Nope. There. All right. And all right, let's go back to our view frame. Let's actually just throw address ones into one. Oops. Take out the prefix plus equal. Okay. Failed to save. The content of the file is newer. What? Do I have this open twice? What are you doing? Just save, overwrite. I'll look at the git diff later if it builds. All right, so this moves all our address ones. Let me go back and fix the other bug. Okay. Oh, remove the prefix, I think is what he said, right? Yeah, take out the prefix plus. Okay. And it's change. Just, yep, okay. Okay. Save that. Save that. Quit that. Build that. Ooh, height, this might be happening. Let's see. Let's see. That would make me happy. My first live coding, not a complete address. Ooh. Yeah, so like comment might want to come out and go to address. These are pretty critical things, but it's a start. It's a start. Oh, actually, you know what else? Let's do our plugin thing. Plugins. Command action plugins. Oh, did I already not say that? Oh, that was for tools, right? I did it there. I need the context menu plugins. There, this one. All right. Feels good when it compiles and works. Hope I didn't jinx myself. All right, let's see. I should get a smaller test file. Ooh, okay, do plugins. Well, I still don't see plugins, but the other one does work. All right, I also want to add plugin commands submenu actions. Oh, let's see here. So what is this one? So we take the prefix. Okay, so it's submit. Okay, okay. And where was that? It's the tools one. Where's the definition? Oh, so many actions. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's go find the reference to it. I think. Add plugin command submenu instead of a oh. Do I just come on. How do I control page up? There we go. Get my hotkeys right here. Yeah, so instead of add plugin command to actions, add plugin command submenu actions. Yeah, just replace the API call, I think. Yeah, it looks like that should do it. I think that's what needs to happen. Oh, okay. All right. Plugins. Oh, you've been banished. Banished all you plugins into a submenu. And just for kicks, let's make sure that it triggers some of these too, right? Instruction graph, yeah. Uh-oh. That's might have been an unrelated thing though. That's probably the instruction I tried to run on. So let's do an LEA. Plugins, instruction graph. Uh-oh. Oh, I know what it is. That's a different bug. That's because this plugin tries to pull out your build number, and I'm on a dev build, so you'll notice my build number is just 2.2. There's no third thing of it. So that's actually just because I'm running a debug build at Binja that one won't work. What's another good? Sure, this is my little plugin. It's a simple one, shows that. Cool, so this will work. Plugins are organized. Address. All right, we're coming along. We're coming along. So let's carry on. So let us, I can get fancy with the Vim macro, but I'm not gonna bother. We're just gonna do this a bunch. And the exact text of this, I feel like is up for debate as well. But we can talk about that later. Okay, so what do we decide? I'm gonna move these under address. I think they can live under address. I don't know if that's gonna work though. So highlight colors are weird. I don't know anything about how a highlight color action system works. So yeah, I'm gonna leave them alone for now. I feel like that's gonna require a specialized look into, because I think it does. It makes sense that they're weird, right? Because they have the special I don't know, bid job, but they have the special color actually shown in the preview. So I don't think we want to mess with those right now. We'll just leave them there for now. Okay, bookmarks and tags. Yep, that's an easy one. We're gonna put them after. I kind of want bookmarks. Yeah, actually, let's just leave them down here. Still don't know about these functions. There we go again. All right. And I managed to eat this, didn't I? All right. Now we're cooking with gas. So dead store elimination. These are functions. I want these to live under functions because that's a thing that's going to happen there. Set ordering though. I don't know if this will work actually this way, the way I expected. Let's try it, because I'm not sure about the relationship between the set ordering on a group that's inside of a submenu, but we'll try it. Sounds like a good way to maybe potentially find some other bugs, but all right. Yeah, and then we got our other ones. These are the ones that kicked it all off, wasn't it? Oh, and I still have a couple other labels annotated, don't I? Good news is the grouping that we're changing won't really impact anything major, and we can change it kind of at whim. We're not going to break any plugins, but yeah, I don't remember if I installed the sometimes I install the NeoVim version, but which one do I have installed? Yeah, I've got the NeoVim one. I don't like the regular one. To answer your question, Marcus. All right. So display as, I think, needs to be top level. I don't want to mess with that. Actually, I don't remember if I did that in my prototype, but I don't think I need to for now. Leave it alone. Patch already has a submenu. In fact, in my notes, I said patch, yay, like the one thing we did right. Like this one did have a really nice submenu with lots of stuff in it. It was cleaned up. It's not true. There were other things too. That's pretty clean. Okay, let's give that a try. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, the built-in Vim is, it's like fine until it's not. And like on basically any tool, right? Like NeoVim is really the right way to go on anything that wants to implement Vim stuff, in my opinion. The only downside to is, which I alluded to earlier, is if your system's under heavy load, like you're building or something, and it's really, really laggy, your keystrokes will get eaten before NeoVim's spun up and gotten them. So that can be kind of annoying. Oh, look at how clean this is. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty good. That's looking a lot better. Make function at this address did not get put inside of function or address, which arguably, so yeah, I wasn't sure about that one. Wait, did I even move it? Oh no, that's a separate one. Make function. Yeah. Yeah, like even if, even if you disagree with like the exact ordering of the stuff, or one thing I would nitpick with now is the rules that are grouping the things might be a little too aggressive. Might want to like combine some of these into a similar group so they're not separated by these breaks. But it's not bad. That's pretty good. Copy and paste still need to be cleaned up. They need to be organized better. So I need to play with the ordering there. And yeah, I don't know about deleting paste. And that kind of stuff. And that's the other thing too, is that like we're making these changes now in just the view frame. But some of these we may want to change in particular views. Yeah, you're gonna want to use CMake for sure, Joe. It has been a much better process. And we didn't even we use QMake with our own like wrapper scripts as well for a lot of the building. And even QT is now CMake, aren't they? Like I think, yeah, as you Rex, yeah, QT6, they're all going to be CMake anyways. I think that's their default stuff. But we've been happier with it, other than changing muscle memory, getting used to things. Cool. All right. Well, I'm probably gonna. I'm a little bit over time. It's a long stream. Probably gonna wrap this up. I think that's a pretty successful result. I might literally just land this on dev as is. I don't know. I'll think about that a little bit more. I'm not sure if I want to churn it too much for people. I might want to fix up things so I just do it once instead of getting people used to it. But I think that's pretty good. Oh yeah, let's do this too. Let's check graph view. Yep, and again, so that's the nice thing. So because graph view is itself a view frame, right? That inherits we get all that for free. That's much better. And again, you can still bind anything to a hotkey, still got the action system, get rid of stuff. So thank you very much, Rusty, for fixing that in line. Yeah, so Joe, Rusty is the one who did the CMake conversion, so it's nice that he's in chat to answer any questions. Yeah, Marcus, I think I will. I'll do a little bit more work. There's a few more things it needs. I need to get some of the this one. I need to get the copy and paste close together, but that's 90% of what I wanted, and we even got this one as a bonus as well. So I think that'll be a good change. Yeah, I don't want to kill the stream quite yet if there's any kind of chat going on. Of course, we can always move it to Slack as well, but anybody got any other questions they wanted to ask? Usually it's like right before 7 that I get like people hopping in like, oh, I just joined the stream and asking questions. And yeah. With the one caveat, Joe, that bundling, if you want to be M1 compatible, native M1 compatible, you have to wait for like 6.2 anyways, which is a pain in the rear. Qt is really lagging on that. They specifically like just tagged the bug and the Qt bugs that they don't plan on M1. You can build Qt for an M1 now and get the toolchain building natively on the M1, but you don't get like the app stapling and you don't get the side by side where it's doing both for you. You could work around it. You could do it yourself and you could do all that, but it's going to be a pain. So we haven't gone that route yet for getting native native support. But all right, well, I'm happy. Hopefully you guys had a good stream. If you are watching this later, or if you like thinking, oh man, I didn't want to stare at Jordan fumbling with bad code all week, we can definitely change it up. We'll do some other stuff in the future. Yeah, the Qt modules that don't exist yet is biting us. That's one of the main reasons we haven't moved, because we use Qt Web Engine. All right, so like our in Binja, the new tab content over here and the plugin manager, these all render with Qt Web Engine, and so until M1 supports that and they've got their modules ported. Yeah, don't get me started about like my rant on Qt. Like I'm 100% fine with Qt, making business choices and doing their thing. It's they put a lot of work into it, but their plan to like force open source people to always be on the latest, okay, fine. But then the fact that they have latest that they're requiring open source people to move to, but they don't support all of the plugins yet. The fact that they're doing this like uneven haphazard for like several releases is awful. Like you can't do both. You can't tell people you're not going to have security fixes and backports and they have to be paid, or they, open source can do it, and then also not have all your modules when you update. So that's a not great situation. I think that's super unfortunate. But the weird thing, which I think I mentioned on stream before, is we are willing to license Qt, but if we did, we'd have to pay for all plugin developers. So there's no really good way to license it from Binary Ninja's perspective, in a way that lets us pay for a license, but not require all of our users that are building UI plugins potentially to have a license. You have to like pick one or the other. So, yeah, exactly. Like if it was just licensing the Vector 35 people, like yeah, it'd be a chunk of change, but like we get a ton of benefit from Qt, and I'd love to support and continue to do that. But you wouldn't be able to have plugins anymore, which would be ridiculous. So yeah, Qt is the choice for cross-platform UIs that aren't terrible, unless you're using like Electron based, which has its own issues. So all right, well, thanks everybody for hanging out. If you have any questions, feel free to hop in the Binge Slack, and had a good time with y'all. Thanks, Rusty, for fixing the bug. Hopefully you guys should see all this code improvement land on dev. We'll see what the weekend looks like if I got time to finish it out, but at the very latest early next week. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you later.